thank you so much for being here. This is Hira. So in this video, I wanted to talk about awareness. And it's such a big topic, but no matter where we are and what we're doing, it's the common denominator in our life. So how I would describe it, and it's hard to describe because it's an intangible concept. It's not something that we can put into a test tube and analyze, right? It's something you have to experience for yourself. So how I understand awareness is that awareness is a canvas on which your life is painted. You know how an artist has a canvas? Whether that canvas is a wall or a piece of wood or a paper or anything, that's the canvas that the artist is painting on. So awareness, and I use the word awareness and consciousness to mean the same thing. That is the canvas of your life, right? That is the canvas in which your life is being painted on. No matter where you are, what you are, where you find yourself, no matter what you're doing, all that's happening is on the canvas. Everything that you're experiencing, including your thoughts and your emotions and even the actions, they're happening on the canvas of awareness. So when my daughter was 4, I remember I was in the kitchen and she was laying down on her playmat and she was looking at the ceiling. She's like, "Mama, I can't stop thinking." And I was so surprised. I was like, "Oh my goodness, you're 4 years old." And she was just looking at the ceiling. She's like, "Mama, I can't stop thinking." And I was like, that's so amazing. Even as a 4-year-old, she had the awareness that my brain is constantly talking, right? Constantly running, is constantly engaged. So that was, for me, that was the first time where I was like, okay. I told her, I'm okay, we can't stop thinking, but then we need to meditate. So, I really recommend Eckhart Tolle and his book, The Power of Now. And he goes into extensive depth about awareness and consciousness and beingness. And this idea that, yes, you can stop thinking, like my daughter said. And I didn't even know that this was possible, or this was a state in which I could perpetually find myself in until I was an adult, in my late 20s. So, and then since then, this is something I have strived towards, right? So I'll meditate consistently so I can actually stop thinking, because when you stop thinking, you can see the canvas. That's amazing, because so as long as your brain is running, no matter if you're thinking about the past or the future or the present, or even if you're just reading a book, your brain is active. So to quiet down that mental chatter, then you become aware of awareness. So consciousness meets consciousness, spaciousness meets spaciousness, because this canvas is an endless canvas and it's just blank, right? There's nothing there. So, but it takes a little bit of determination to get to that point. Right now you might be and especially if this is a new concept, you'd be like, "Oh, this is ridiculous. This isn't possible. I've never experienced it." And I would say, no, you have experienced it. You just never consciously made the connection that you had experienced it. But now what I'm saying, just like Tolle says, that it can be a perpetual state. You can go through your life and every moment is a moment of consciousness, moment of awareness. And the more you deliberately intend for it, the easier it gets. And really, no matter even other than Tolle, all my teachers, they've strived to teach us about awareness, right? One of the many beginnings is intention, right? When you want to make an intention for whatever task you find yourself in, you need to have awareness before you begin the task, right? So awareness, and then you could couple it with intention, and now you're clear on the goal of that task at hand. And that task can be really simple. It could just be, I'm going to wash the dishes, or it could be even bigger, I'm going to fly a plane and I'm going to land it too. So, but no matter what action you're doing, the common denominator is always awareness. And even one of my other teachers, not Tolle, he would talk about, he was and this is a very Sufi concept, right? That it is more important to have a moment of reflection, and you can replace the word reflection with awareness, than it is to have a whole lifetime worth of prayer. And that's amazing. That's it. That is more important. It is more important to have awareness, to have spaciousness. And maybe important is the wrong word, because that signifies that not doing something, right? Like, so what am I trying to say? Okay, so maybe I don't think important is the right word. So like, you don't want to make awareness as a means to an end. Awareness just is. The canvas just is, right? It's very hard to like find the words to explain this without getting lost in the bushes. So you want to value awareness and bring it in every moment, and then take the action. And then you'll see that your action comes with more clarity. Your action comes with more ease. Your action just flows, instead of you're trying to bring it into place, instead of you're trying to motivate yourself. Because motivation doesn't come from a place of awareness. It comes from the place of the brain, right? Where I have to convince myself to do things. I have to push myself to do things. And yes, we live in a very action-oriented world, especially in the West. And yes, things need to get done, but even those things that need to get done on the canvas of awareness. You cannot get away from awareness. You cannot get away from consciousness. That's all I'm bringing your attention to. And bringing your attention to and a deeper aspect of your own being, right? So many people, like, they'll tell me like, oh, I'm stressed out, or I have anxiety, or I think I have depression. And I'm like, anytime you have a problem, the solution also exists. But to go from the problem to the solution, you need to go through the doorway of awareness, right? Like, you can go through other doorways, and sometimes it might be really painful, right? Like trying to get an R&D project done, and then everyone's pushing you, or the timeline's getting closer and closer. Yeah, you can force yourself to work overtime, or you can spend a lot of money and hire contractors. But at the same time, yes, you want to go from the problem to the solution, but why not go through the path of least resistance, or the path that doesn't strain yourself as much, right? Whereas awareness always exists, and it's always available to you in every moment. So when you have a problem and you want to go to the solution, make space within yourself. Make space within your consciousness. Make space within your thoughts, so you can let in the solution, right? So like, my daughter is like, she wants something, right? And she's like asking me questions about it, and she wants it. And I'm like, okay, like, it doesn't have to happen right now. And even though it's something I can give to her, like, she wants to start ballet. So I told her, like, we signed up for it and we'll get to it. But like, you want to bring awareness to even your desires, right? Because it's not just about, oh, I want something, and with my daughter says, I want it fulfilled right now, which is possible. But at the same time, you can enjoy not having the desire either, right? Like, having the desire and letting the desire go, and knowing that it'll come to you, right? So that's awareness. Whereas you don't have to like clench your teeth and be like, I'm waiting for what I want to come. I'm waiting for my life to start. I'm waiting. Or you can just be like, I've asked, I know it'll come. I know when the time will be right. I know when the time will be perfect. I'll know what to do when I know what to do. But all that happens on the canvas of your awareness. So that's really like, that's what I wanted to bring your attention to. And then, but awareness is something that's cultivated. It's something that's also given. Like, everyone has it. Every being, everything in existence, and anything that's you can see is on the canvas of awareness. That's it. On some level of consciousness. It's on a canvas, and that canvas is consciousness. So this is, once you understand that this canvas exists, like my daughter, like, I can't stop thinking, that was awareness, right? She must have had a moment of quietude within her brain, within the thoughts, whatever thoughts she was thinking, that she became aware that, oh, I'm always thinking, right? And so how do you cultivate awareness? How do you make it something that's deeper, right? And you do that by meditation, right? That's like one of the easiest ways that I know, right? Is to just, either you're meditating on, like, the birds, or you're meditating on some ambient noise like the fan, or sometimes, like in Southeast Asia, the gongs, right? The bells. They're so amazing because they vibrate, and if you really focus on them, you can feel them vibrating and fading away. It's so powerful. So like, whatever you want to, find a meditation that works for you, and 10 minutes a day. I do it first thing in the morning, and then I also do it at night, and sometimes I do it during the day too. And another form of meditation is yoga, or you can do, for my friend, is running. She'll run 6-7 miles, and she'll be like, oh, so easy, because she gets into a meditative state. I enjoy cycling. It's just fun. Like, mountain biking more intense, but like if when I'm just like on a paved road, like it's just fun. So like because I enter into that meditative state where I'm just at one with myself and one with the bike and one with the trail. It's just ease and flow, ease and flow. So it's something that once you know of it, you can cultivate it and you can go deeper and deeper into it. And there's really no endingness to it, right? So like the more you cultivate it, the more it permeates your life. And it's something that you need to experience for yourself. And like, you know, masters like Tole, they can talk about it all day, but it's an individual experience. It's an individual taste, right? That's the word the Sufis were use a lot. You know, there's knowledge of papers, like knowledge we can read. Like you can go and read about awareness from the Buddha, which is wonderful, but until you taste it, it's still a theoretical concept, right? So that is what I'm pointing towards, right? That it is open to you, like that state that the Buddha achieved, that of a deep awareness is open to everyone. And no, you don't have to live a monastic lifestyle to obtain that state. All it requires is a deliberate intention every single day. And then eventually, as you practice more and more, that deliberate intention for every day, it becomes a deliberate intention for like the morning, and then it'll become a deliberate intention for the evening, and before you know it, it'll become a deliberate intention for the entire day. And again, like it's something you need to taste. Like I can sit here and I can tell you how beautiful and how lovely and how delicious it is, and how like I'm so appreciative of all that I've lived to bring about this level of awareness that I have now of myself. But it doesn't mean anything because it's like a hollow shell, right? I'm just a pointer pointing to something that's within you, right? And if you're watching this video, then this is a question you've already asked, right? This is something you're already seeking. So I had one of my great teachers, he asked me one time, I was with them, he's like, what's 1 + 1? And of course I was like 2, right? Because like I'm a scientist, and I knew, and a part of me knew it's not 2, but I didn't know what else it could be, right? Like I was like 2, and then he's like 1 + 1. He's like 1 drop of water meets another drop of water, and they become 1, right? So that's awareness. It's consciousness meeting consciousness. So I really hope that this video helps you find awareness within yourself and you cultivate it within yourself. And until next time. Namaste.